I started selling new construction in Michigan. I worked for a smaller builder, and the way we worked then was not only would I help select the lot and the elevation, we would also do all the design center options. So, meaning your tile, your flooring, cabinets, pool, all the bells and whistles. When I moved to Florida and started working for builders, the larger builders have a separate design center. When I worked for them as a salesperson, I'm going through the lot selection and the elevation. And once you're under contract, you're meeting with a separate team that's handling all those options. Now that I do everything, I do new construction, resale, and I'm working with the buyer instead of for the builder. I can help them really figure out and plan what exactly they want in a home and what that is going to cost before they go under contract, and then have to make all these choices about these upgrades within a week or two. It really helps to keep them on budget and expectations realistic. That gives me, I feel like, a unique advantage when you're working with me, especially in buying new construction. The first thing I want to know is why. Why are you buying new and what are you hoping to achieve with that? Because everybody's why is a little different. And until I understand what your goals are, it's hard to determine which communities might be best for you. After we figure out the why and we start looking at communities and we narrow down the community, then we're looking at lot selection or stack selection. So I'll start with lot selection. That would be on single family homes. So you have different choices in terms of, do you want a water view? Do you want a private yard? Where are your windows going to be placed in this home? And what are you going to be facing once this home is built? Because you're really looking a lot of times at just a piece of dirt. And a lot of people will think, oh, this lot is premium and I'm going to be on the water. And that's great. If you are on the water, you're more open to all of your neighbors. Are you comfortable with that? Or if you're on a dry lot, then do you completely fence it in and have some landscaping in a more private yard? And also where your windows are placed, how you're going to be facing your neighbors. If you're in a condo, then we're looking at the stack you're in. How far are you from the parking, the elevators, the trash, depending on where you want to be in terms of traffic within there, and then what views you want. For most people, the design is one of the most important features. That's something that we're doing when we're looking in the community of a new construction home. When working with a builder, you do have to keep in mind the upgrades and how much you're going to spend. You don't want to over improve, and you don't want to have a home that you're not happy with where you thought you were getting this beautiful tile flooring and really the whole house comes with carpet that you didn't want. So there's a fine balance between that. How much time I spend and what we're doing with the upgrades really depends on the person, because you have to feel comfortable moving forward, picking your lot, the layout of the home that you want, and the elevation. Very quickly, within the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, you're going into that design center and you're spending half a day picking all this stuff. And maybe they'll break it up into two. It's important to spend as much time as you need to feel comfortable to be able to make those decisions. Some people, it's pretty easy, but most people, we go through, take pictures, take notes of everything that they like, figure out what it costs, then going back and saying, okay, what are the design center options that make the most sense, like soft close cabinets. That's something you can easily add after so your cabinets don't slam shut. If you were considering a custom grill, you might not want to do it right away. It might not be in your budget. You can plumb, so you can have the gas there. So when you decide to do that, it's already there. It really depends on what your wants and needs are and what your budget is. And we go from there. Build time really depends. A lot of builders are taking homes and they're building them because they know not everybody wants to wait for a piece of dirt and then have it be built. So there are homes, if it's 90 days or less, you typically don't get to pick out as much. They'll say, oh, you have enough time to pick out the cabinets or flooring. Usually everything's picked out and they're just building it, and then that's the home that you're getting. If you start from the dirt, that can take up to 18 months. Usually they're getting them done within 8, 9 months now. Once you're under contract, you typically have 4 to 5 meetings with the builders. You're having the pre-construction, the pre-drywall, home buyer orientation, the pre-walkthrough, and then your closing. There's sometimes a couple more for custom and sometimes less. If you're in a home that's being built and it's 90 days out, you're already past drywall. Buying a new home doesn't mean you're buying perfect. When you're buying a new home, there's over 250 trades or people going through that home and touching it. So there will be mistakes. We do have weekly meetings, bi-weekly meetings, depending on where we're at in the process. I'm in constant communication with the builder so we can catch these things. And that's why you do have the pre-construction, just to make sure what we said we're building, we're going to build. The pre-drywall, if you did any electrical or different upgrades, you want to make sure they're there. That light that recessed light you wanted is actually there before they put up the drywall. And you have a warranty. It's a 1 to 10-year warranty. The 1 year is pretty much everything in the home. Things like nail pops, where it pops out of the drywall a little bit. Different things happen, and that can all be taken care of. And of course, if there's anything like the roof is leaking or anything like that, that's all under warranty. Your 2-year warranty is all your major components. Your 10-year warranty is the structural integrity, the roof trusses, the foundation, and you have a couple different layers of protection on the roof with the materials. You're going to have a post-closing warranty home orientation. We really want to understand that warranty process, what's covered during the warranty, how to properly prepare a ticket to get work done, and making sure that everything's included. So not perfect, but you're covered. Builders prefer to work with realtors. I get calls all the time from builders about their communities that are up and coming, that haven't hit the market yet, any incentives that they're offering. Builders like working with me, and they do pay the commission. If somebody's considering buying new construction, you could do it alone. Why would you want to? Do you buy a regular home alone? And this is way more involved. I would say, call me. I can help. The builder's representatives are working for the builder. That's who they're representing. You want somebody there working on your behalf. So yes, anyone can do anything alone. And the question is, why would you want to?